Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of What Would a BA Do? I'm here with Mark Bruins and we've got a great episode lined up for you today. We're going to talk about what would a BA do to maximise their experience at a conference and in particular to maximise their BA Life 2026 conference experience. We're very grateful to have you here, Mark. Perhaps you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, Linda, and thank you for inviting me onto your podcast. So, as you mentioned, my name is Mark Bruins. I'm a senior business analyst, mentor, and career strategist. I just turned 61, so I'm no more spring chicken. I founded Business Analyst Masterminds Limited, and we're based out of Sandhurst in Berkshire, just west of London. Now, we launched BA Masterminds in April 29, so that's over 6 years ago already. And we launched our Gold Mentoring Program, which is our flagship mentoring program, in August 2021. And this weekend, we just signed up our 123rd Gold Mastermind. That's on the 4-month Gold Mentoring Program. We got over 900 in our Bronze Mentoring Program. Even though I haven't been working in business analysis for over 16 years, we don't teach business analysis. So we focus on the recruitment side of business analysts. Now, I mentor BAs to either pivot from perm into contracting, or from BA to senior BA, or from senior BA to lead BA, and in the process, doubling their income within 90 days. So our record so far is taking a Gold BA Mastermind from £220 per day to £850 per day in just 5 months.
That sounds great, Mark. Maybe I need to talk to you. That's another conversation. As I said, today's topic is all about how to get the most out of the BA Live 2026 conference. I'm really excited about this topic, so I'm just going to leave it up to you to talk us through what your techniques would be and how you would approach that.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm attending the BA Live conference in 2026. What would a BA do to maximize their experience? So I've been to quite a lot of conferences, mostly the IIBA. So in 2017, I attended my first BA conference, learned a lot, met a lot of great people in person, very good instead of virtual. And then in 2020, I was a speaker at the IIBA summit. And then I talked on the power of a mastermind. And then in 2023, I was a track chair and I was in charge of 7 international speakers. And in 2025, this year, I attended again the IIBA summit and I was a speaker. And I was also, our company was an exhibitor. So I've been to a lot of conferences and always, you've got a choice. You either go to see that track or that track or that track, and some of them are overlapping and you never know which ones to do. You don't know, how to go about meeting people and introducing yourself and things like that. So let's look together at the upcoming BA Live conference as a small project. And we all know what projects are because that's what BAs do. We mostly work in a project environment. So I'm going to discuss the top 3 BA tools, including how to use them and why they maximize the experience. So let's begin with the stakeholder map. Everybody knows the stakeholder map. So its purpose is to identify the key people who can influence in your career growth, in your confidence, and also future job opportunities. Because remember, you're not going to stay in your job forever. Most people change jobs a few times in their life. I myself have had 25 jobs in my checkered 42-year past. Okay, so how we can use the stakeholder map before the conference is to list all the key stakeholders, specifically Linda Parker, Julian Newell, speakers who inspire you. Hopefully that'll be me. People commenting on BA Life LinkedIn posts. So go and read their comments, add comments, and if you see they've got valuable comments, add them to your stakeholder map. And lastly, potential mentors or collaborators, even influencers and thought leaders and employers. Put them all on your stakeholder map. Okay. And then you can categorize them into influencers, those who shaped the BA community, connectors, the people who introduce you to others, and knowledge sources, the people who can teach you something specific. Okay. And then plan who you want to meet and what to ask them and where or how that you can also add value, because it's a two-way street. It's not a case of just taking information. It's also a case of giving information. It's a lot of give and take at these conferences. Now, how does this maximize the conference for you? Well, it transforms the conference from a passive event into a strategic networking opportunity. So instead of hoping for great conversations, you go ahead and engineer them. All right. Number two, Moscow prioritization. You all know Moscow. So the purpose of implementing this technique is to ensure that you do not get overwhelmed by sessions, by speakers, or by the networking opportunities, because there is sometimes a sense of overwhelm. Okay. Now, how to use the Moscow technique before the conference? You categorize sessions and activities into the following. So firstly, the musts. These are non-negotiable sessions that you really want to attend. And then should. So these are valuable, but not necessarily critical, because if they're critical, they'll go on the must list. And then could. These are nice to have sessions, and won't. Well, you intentionally want to skip these because you want to avoid fatigue. Okay. Now, during the conference, review your framework before each speaking event. You might change your mind at the last moment. I know I have. Okay. Then ensure you focus on the high value sessions on the day. So, because the recordings of all sessions are available for 12 months after the conference. And then adjust your priorities based on new opportunities. For example, if you connect with a speaker who invites you to their session. So that's what happened to me on the last summit 2 weeks ago. I met somebody by the pool cocktail hour the next day. You have to go and change things and go and see that person speak. Okay. So how does implementing Moscow maximize your conference experience? It ensures you focus on the high value sessions and you avoid the burnout. And by making conscious trade-offs, you get maximum value without feeling overwhelmed. Okay. And number three, if I had time, I'd go into a lot more, but I think that the lessons learned log is a very important tool that we can use as well. So just use a simple one-page template and then convert your insights into actionable improvements that change your career or increase your confidence and strengthens your capabilities. Okay, how can you use this lessons learned log? After every session or each conversation, then you need to capture what did you learn? Okay, and why it matters to you that you learned this. And how will you apply it in the next 30 days? 30 days, you need to apply this. And then also who can support you or even hold you accountable. Now, after the conference, transform this into a 30-day action plan, right? You want to do a few things. You want to improve your written and verbal communication skills. You want to strengthen your articulation and storytelling, because there's a lot of stories that are told at these events. You want to position yourself for BA Life 2026 as a speaker. You heard me correctly, right? You want to become a speaker, even maybe 2027. You can implement new tools with your stakeholders at work. So it's practice what you preach, what you learned, you put into practice. And you can build new relationships via LinkedIn to network with like-minded professionals. Now, how will the lessons learned log maximize the conference? So most people, they forget, at least 80% of the conference with the content after just a few days, right? And the lessons learned log ensures that every insight becomes action, not forgotten inspiration. Thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Mark. That was terrific. So a couple of things I picked up on is connecting with Julia and myself or any of the BA Life team. We're delighted if anyone connects with us before, during, directly after the conference. And the other thing is positioning yourself as a speaker. That is a real thing. Just let us know if you've been inspired, because we're unique in that we invite speakers. We don't put a call out for speakers. So anyone who's been inspired, let us know, and we'll look at you and we'll come back with options for letting us know. So yeah, great. And all of the information that you gave us was terrific. Yeah, brilliant.
Excellent.
So thanks for that. So with the last few minutes, would you like to tell us what you're doing next, what you are interested in, what you're all about?
Sure. Yes, thanks. So that's what I was thinking. By now, you're probably wondering, what is it exactly that I do? So basically, we have a few programs. We have copper, bronze, silver, gold, impact, platinum, BAM productivity, interview preparation techniques, and BAM position. So we've got a few products that we wrapped up and have full descriptions for on our website and pricing modules and things like that. But it's not all about sales. It's about helping business analysts and helping the BA community. I'm very passionate about that. So basically, I offer a 30-minute free career strategy session on Zoom. Now, what we do is we look, where are you currently in your career? So that's called your current state or your as is. And then we look at your future state, your to be. Where would you like to be in your career 1 year from now? And then I perform a gap analysis, and then I advise you accordingly. So we work out the action steps that you can take to achieve those 1 year goals. Now, if I realize that you have too little theory, then I'll hand you over to one of our strategic alliance partners who's authorized training providers. They can teach you, and you can pass the CBAP from the IIBA or the BCS International Diploma. And if you're lacking practical experience, I can help you with that. If you're lacking domain experience, for instance, if you want to work in the public domain or the private domain, if you're lacking industry or sector experience, in other words, if you want to go into banking or financial services or oil and gas or transportation, whatever, we look at those type of things, how to pivot you, what do you need, and then we try and match you up with one of our programs, either the bronze or the gold mentoring program, depends on your budget and your urgency. So Linda will share my email address if you're interested. We also do a free detailed CV review where we check ATS compliance, and we send you a detailed email on how you can improve your CV. So that's also a free service that we offer. You can reach out on LinkedIn, send me a connection request. If we're not connected already, I think I've got 8,700 BAs in the UK already as first degree connections. I've been networking since I launched in 2019, so I'm very big on that. But you can email me or go to our website, www.bmasterminds.co.uk, and then you can go and get all the necessary information there. Thank you, Linda.
That's great, Mark. And thank you for taking the time to tell us about what you do, and also for the great What Would a BA Do